Good morning, everyone. We are having a very nice morning in the stock market, and I wanted to jump on and cover 4 stocks super quickly. I want to look at SoundHound AI. I want to look at BigBear.ai. I want to look at SealsQ, ticker symbol LAES, and D-Wave QBTS, which so far this morning has been seeing a little bit of sell-off. We're going to look at the stock heat map and our quantum watch list as well, and just get a feel for what's going on this morning. So let's dive right in. So as we can see, the stock heat map is looking really good today. NVIDIA has earnings tomorrow, so there's a little bit of a pre-earnings rally, and I think this stock has been underpriced for quite a while. Google is having a delayed rally based on their Google I/O conference, and they had really strong earnings and haven't really seen a significant bump. Still think Google is pretty underpriced. Tesla's having a bump. And really across the board, we're seeing a lot of green. So on our quantum watch list as well, we're also seeing quite a bit of green with ARQQ up 12%, LAES up 10%, and Skywater, chip fabricator for D-Wave, an onshore manufacturer of chips, up 8%. We started covering them about a month ago. And then if we look all the way down the quantum watch list, we see that QBTS has sold off today, and QBTS D-Wave was overextended and was flying pretty high. So it's actually not a super bad thing that it's selling off a little bit, because we can actually start to see some of the supports that are starting to build as far as its price action. So let's look at BigBear.ai. So market closed on Thursday and we had a 3-day weekend. And I actually posted a video this weekend about BigBear.ai. So if you bought BigBear, you're up 22% today in the market. This is like I said, this is a high flyer. This stock has been primed for a while to move. And we can see that in the 5-day chart that we've seen this pattern of run up, sell off, run up, sell off. And there's been various things that have created the conditions for BigBear to move up. So there's not a particular headline. This is more of a technical rally, in my opinion. So I want to go back to April when the market wasn't doing too well and show you this rising support that's been built. So this rising support is essentially what we bounce off this morning. We open with velocity, and now we're trading at the current moment at 440 when we closed at around 360. So really a big move for BigBear. And why this is interesting for BigBear, if we look back 6 months. So there's a significant amount of price history here between this 416 and 450. And as you can see in this green candle today, we're already pushing potentially past that, which would send the stock considerably higher. And what we've seen of BigBear in the past is once it gets to this level, it likes to really push up quickly. So we saw between February 3rd and February 7th, this stock go on a very big run. And I think a lot of investors are looking at this, about 116% run. So are we in a bullish reversal? I think the technicals are indicating that we are in a bullish reversal. So definitely keep BigBear on your radar. Let's take a look at SoundHound. So SoundHound had very strong earnings. The growth story is intact for SoundHound AI. This is a company that has some of the best voice AI technology, and they're in fast food restaurants and in different places. They have different customers. And what has SoundHound done? Well, since last December, it had this mega rally up to $25 a share at its peak. And then it sold down with forks. And as you can see, it's just been selling down and selling down and selling down until about April, when the market bottomed with every other stock. And now what we're starting to see is potentially a bullish reversal. So let's measure this move. From its peak, we've seen a 100% move, and today we've seen a 70% move. So let's draw this rising support. We can see that at market, we open pretty much bouncing off that rising support. I like to draw these rising supports because they are an indicator of what a stock is going to do. They don't always bounce off rising support, but today, absolutely, we saw a gap up and we see the top of the wick hitting this $11. I personally am a big investor in SoundHound, and I believe that by June 13th, I picked up some call contracts as well that expire 6/13. I think that it will go back above $11. I would love to see it get back and hang around this 1260 to 1790, where we have a pretty good amount of price history for SoundHound, but that might be a little bit ambitious at this point in time. We'll have to see. On the day chart, we see that we got all the way up to 11 from a close under 10 on Thursday, and we quadruple topped off of 11, and we're just kind of hanging around here at 1069 at the time of this recording. Okay, let's take a look at LAES SealsQ. So LAES, if you guys follow the channel closely, I've called out this 388 level. I'm just going to draw this for you. Maybe a half dozen times, maybe more. And the significance of this 388 level is LAES just seems to not be able to get over 388. And it did this morning, but I'm going to show you in the chart right here. So I'm going to make this line yellow so you can really see that 388 and how many times that's come into play. So if I grab these arrows and I show you, we've rejected historically off of 388 a number of times. It's come into play. So if we look at the day chart, we actually see that we opened and exploded up over this number, which I thought was a really good sign. But then some of the enthusiasm has cooled off. So we're at a 10% gain on the day, which is really amazing. But 388 continues to be a problematic price point for LAES. So I would love to see LAES close above 388 today. Then I would finally be convinced that LAES is in a bullish reversal. If we look back at 6 months, we know at the peak of the quantum frenzy, the stock was trading at almost $10 a share, but that was for just a short period of time. And then for a short period of time, it was in this $4 to $6 price range. So most of the significant price history for this stock is actually under this 388. So keep that in mind when you're trading it. All right. In QBTS today, I think the price action thus far today has been pretty healthy. I'm going to remove my drawings. I just want to show you guys what has D-Wave done since earnings. It's gone up 187%. Okay. So we're going to look at the RSI. It's our relative strength index. And we've been in overbought conditions on the RSI now for a couple weeks. And essentially what that means is the stock is being bought more than it's being sold, thus creating this upward inflection on essentially the stock is overextended. It's just being bought too much and it needs to cool off a little bit. So what we're seeing today is some of that cooling off. You can see this little dip on the RSI. And if we go into the 5-day, why I'm not too concerned about this pullback is we have a lot of price history and support here. Okay, so I've turned on some of my key levels here that I want y'all to take a look at. And I think the most important level is the level we're actually sitting at right now for D-Wave. So we have shown that this 1743 price point for D-Wave has been a significant area of resistance. And then it's now acting, and as stocks often do, that area of resistance is now acting as support. So what do we have what am I expecting from D-Wave? I expect D-Wave to close red today. And I think some consolidation is good. Now we're getting in RSI on the oversold. So that could add some momentum to the stock towards the close. And really we see that it's consolidating around the 1743. So from our price history standpoint, we don't have a ton of history. We on our leg up here, we stopped and took a breather for a second at this price point. So we did have a pretty nasty waterfall type of sell-off in the morning, and then we had some more red candles. So we are sitting at an area of support. So if QBTS was to continue to move down, then this is what I would expect. I would expect it to move down to potentially 1728, where tons of bounces in the past. And then our next level down would be 1496. And it is possible that QBTS just wants to kind of hang around in this channel. And I don't think it would be entirely unhealthy for a stock that has moved 200% in such a short period of time. I'm not personally concerned. Also, I'm long on the name. Anyway, let me know what you all think. Do you own any of these stocks? All right, guys, that's it. We did 4 tickers in about 12 minutes or so. Hopefully you found this helpful and useful. And of course, the market is still open, so this could change a lot throughout the day, but there's definitely been a pattern that has been established at the time of this recording. So I wanted to share with you all what I'm thinking and what I'm observing. If you value content like this, please consider leaving a like or subscribe. Have a great day. Good luck in the market.